All right, welcome. Whoa, wow, what was that? All right, welcome back. This is Cult of Elections, and today we're going to be going through the 2024 election night scenario that has Alexandria Ocasio Cortez going up against Mike Pence. And this is kind of a part of a little series. It could be somewhat realistic. Realistic little matchup. But anyways, yeah. Safe Democrat states. Let's go ahead and go through it. No need to talk about it much. Maine's first district. I always forget it. Didn't that time. So there you go. Alright, so I've talked about, AOC being widely, one of the most far left candidates that Democrats could offer in 2024, and how that wouldn't exactly play a helping hand in states like, well, every state pretty much, because I've talked about the head-to-head polls that show, in 2020, say candidates like Pete Buttigieg and Joe Biden did a lot better than Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, etc. So candidates who are more closer to the center did better in head-to-head matchups. So this is why I'm delegating some, not so safe red seats into the safe column here. Because of that, I believe that Colorado, New Mexico, Virginia would remain in the likely column. Not really much to say there. I mean, these states have been trending heavily blue anyways, so I don't think Mike Pence would be a candidate to turn them over, per se. But yeah, I think Pence would carry over a lot of Trump support in Iowa and Ohio. Main things there. Pretty key wins, obviously. Republican map can't really exist without those, and, well, they're not going to go without them. Probably. A lot can change in 4 years. Let's go through some lean states, since there's going to be a lot of them here, actually. I'm going to start with less obvious ones. Minnesota. I'm going to put New Hampshire in the lean category. And I'm going to put Maine, 2nd Congressional District, for Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. To start, I mean, there's more lean states. So, yeah, like I said, far left candidate going up against someone who's about the same ideology as Trump. But it's going to be minus a lot of Trump hate. That's going to be very key in 2024. However, the country will likely move more far to the left, so got to keep that in mind going through the rest of these states. So I'm going to delegate Texas and Florida in Pence's favor here, and the reason why I do that is because I have gotten a comment a while ago. By the way, I read the comments, and sometimes I mention them in the videos. So yeah, I got a comment on one of my older videos stating, well, it was AOC going up against somebody. And yes, it was saying that she would be able to gain Hispanic support, being a Hispanic herself. Okay, that makes enough sense. Texas, I think, will be an even closer margin in this scenario than 2020. However, Florida, while it could remain closer, I don't think it would be enough to bring it to the tilt column or even to the Democrat column. The reason for this is because Cuban Americans, they were painted a picture. It was a Republican strategy, calling Democrats socialists, so don't vote for them. And it worked very, very clearly in 2020 across the board. Miami-Dade County was way closer than it should have been. And this is why Joe Biden did not win the state. And getting in an actual person who likes to call herself socialist, that will definitely not help. So, yeah, she embraces it. Joe Biden didn't really. So, yeah, that is not going to help there. However, I do think Arizona, and I'm kind of skipping around here in terms of characterizations, Arizona would be in the tilt Democrat column. It's the same as 2020. You know, it's been trending blue for a long time, and I think it kind of remains about dead in its tracks here. Nevada would be lean Democrat. The solid Nevada. Never changing. Lean Democrat. Always. I don't think AOC, Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, would be able to garner a lot of support in North Carolina and Georgia. It sounds like a pretty tough thing to do, especially since her ideals wouldn't exactly appeal to states like these. Maine 2nd District, I would give to Pence in a tilt margin. And Nebraska's 2nd District, I would give to Pence in a lean margin. And, you know, both these places have shown that they're not afraid to vote for Republicans. And I think minus a lot of Trump hate in Nebraska's 2nd District, they could send their elector to the Republicans. It's clear, yeah. They voted for a Republican to the House in 2020, yet voted for Joe Biden in a fairly comfortable margin. And Maine 2nd District voted for Trump twice, so they could very well vote for Pence. They may not be as excited for Pence than Donald Trump, but I would give it the lean column. So we have the beautiful Rust Belt left. Deciding elections since 2016. All right, here we go. I'm going to start with Michigan. I think it was the hardest one to tackle in 2020 for Republicans, and my assumption was correct. I thought before that would be the hardest state, and it was. Joe Biden won this state by a bigger margin than Wisconsin and Pennsylvania combined, probably, I think, actually. So, in terms of percentage points, yeah. So, like I said, AOC being a far left candidate, I don't think that would exactly be a good strategy for Democrats here. So that's why I'm putting Michigan in the tilt column, and therefore these other states I'm putting in the lean Republican column. There's going to be a lot of subtracted Trump hate in the country, and I really don't think in the year 2024 people would latch on to far left candidates if Trump really came less than 50,000 votes away from winning the election against a far more centrist candidate in Joe Biden. Then imagine what he would have done against a farther left candidate. And you could say, yes, the polls were wrong. However, they're not going to be wrong in more head-to-head. So if Joe Biden versus Trump was Biden +3 in a swing state, and say it was Bernie Sanders versus Trump and it was Sanders +1 in a swing state, that makes a huge difference. And that's not really something to ignore for the Democrats in the future. However, I do think AOC could possibly one day make a presidential run. I do not think 2024 is the year to do it. So there you have it. 282 to 256. And, oh, yeah, one last thing. Someone did mention in the comments, too, that they believe AOC should run in 2032 and run for senator in 2024 in New York. And, yeah, that's good. I think baby steps is good for her. And as the country moves farther to the left, which it probably inevitably will, 2032 is probably a good year. But anyways, yeah. Be sure to like the video. Leave a comment down below. Leave your opinion on the map. And of course, subscribe for more daily content. Alright, peace.